I'm Dr. Kirk Elliott, founder of Kirk Elliott Precious Metals. After being in the industry for more than a decade, I knew there was a better way. It's an exciting time to invest in gold and silver with the most significant bull market I've ever seen, but please don't overpay for your stuff. At KEPM, we focus on low-cost bullion only, and we don't charge a commission when you sell. We would love to connect with you, so call our office at 720-605-3900
or go to goldwithjustin.com today.
Affordable for all. Visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
You're listening to News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM. Live from high atop Monroe Center in downtown Grand Rapids, we're talking about what matters most to you in West Michigan. Join the conversation now at 616-774-2424. That's 616-774-2424. It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barclay on Wood Radio.
Welcome in, folks. Well, what a weekend. We got lots to talk about between the Super Bowl and the Olympics, and yes, politics beyond all of that, plus the latest in this search for Savannah Guthrie's mom. Eric Nesbitt, the Senate Minority Leader, running for governor as a Republican, joining us, finding some of the fraud, some of the bad things that are happening behind the scenes here in Michigan. He's got details on the latest stories that and issues he's really fired up about. Joining us coming up at 9:30.
And the biggest stories of the day. We're talking about what matters most in West Michigan and beyond. This is the Big Three. Now today's Big Three.
That's right. Yes. We are full speed ahead on a big Monday, fired up by the good friends at Heartland Home Mortgage. Dave Galloway and the team ready to help you, standing by whether you want to buy, refi, home equity, line of credit. They can help you with all three and even more. You've seen the interest rates falling. You've seen the signs of things shifting and moving in the markets. Well, now is the time to reach out, whether you want to do it today or tomorrow. Reach out, get all the dirty details. They'll simplify it for you, make sure that it's very easy for you to pull the trigger when you're ready on any of those issues. Putting a little bit more money back in your pocket at hhmlending.com. Our good friend
Number one,
Dave Galloway and the team. Well, the ransom reportedly set now at $6 million. Savannah Guthrie telling the mother's possible would-be kidnapper, "We will pay," in a new video. And the sad story there continues to unfold as they just don't have as many of the answers that we'd like to have coming out. We'll keep an eye on it. And the video where she makes that plea on the way. Hang on, folks.
number two,
It's official. They've hit at least 25 million views on the Super Bowl halftime show and TPUSA. The alternative, anyway.
It was great. How did you do? Do you have a sense of how many people watched?
Yeah, it was kind of blew our minds actually a little bit, Brian. And we saw at one point across all the different social channels, we saw over 10 million concurrent views. So that was adding up all of Rumble and all of our partners just on the social side. So
it's live, by the way.
And now the numbers keep trickling in. I mean, right now as I'm sitting here, YouTube's numbers keep updating. And so we're trying to put it all together. What I can safely say is that we are now over 20 million viewers across just social. So we haven't even gotten our partner broadcasters, their analytics. As you know, sometimes the ratings take a little while, but that's 20 million viewers. And we don't know how many people were gathered together, 3, 4, 10 in a room watching together. So
it's a big story. And I want to break some of this down coming up. a little bit, plus the actual. I watched both, so you didn't have to. I'll explain that. Multitasking to you coming up here in just a little bit. Meanwhile, a federal judge has ordered the FBI documents of the Fulton County investigation unsealed by Tuesday, so we might finally get some answers as to what they were looking for, what they may have even found. Those documents, part of the seizure of the 2020 election investigation in Fulton County, the ballots used there in Georgia, and, of course, details there, the order coming down for Judge J.P. Booley, the Northern District of Georgia. Later on, we'll get into some of that as well. Democrats scrambling on that story, and you can understand why. There are some things they don't want you finding out. Coming up, West Michigan Live will know it.
Do you build me up, buttercup baby, just to let me down and mess me around?
All right, join the program anytime you wish. We'd love to have you on the phone line. The iHeartRadio app, just click that little microphone button next to the play button, and you can sound off. Let it rip.
Call Justin now at 616-774-2424. That's 616-774-2424. West Michigan Live with Justin Barclay on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
All right, what I get to say here, I don't know that I'm going to make anybody happy, to be honest with you, but I will say this. I wasn't blown away. And really at either performance. Now, I think the TPUSA folks, I think the All-American I think they did a really good job for what they were trying to put together. And I would have loved to seen something more like that with the NFL halftime show. Now, I have to be clear about this, too, because there were some special moments, and I want to give you some of those, but there were some special moments that I thought really stood out to me and are really strong. But the overall, I'm not going to tell you I was blown away. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. I just wasn't blown away. I do think they did a good job at TPUSA. So don't get me wrong here. I want to make sure I'm clear, but I also obviously was not blown away by what they did with the Bad Bunny thing. It was the standard what you could expect over the last several years since Jay-Z has taken over. Now, you want to understand what's really going on with the NFL and what they're trying to do. It's the same mistake all these other woke institutions have made over time. They're trying to bring new audience into their product. They think you are dying out. So they're trying to shift because they don't believe that America matters anymore. And I don't necessarily know that it's a political thing. Jay-Z might look at it that way. But they think, well, go out there and you got a bunch of old white guys, by the way, probably listening to their old white wives. Some of them traded up so they might have younger white liberal wives. And they're all listening to, honey, what should we do for the halftime show? And that's probably Roger Goodell doesn't have a clue. So Roger says, well, I don't want to do something I'd like. Let me do something the kids are going to like. This is the problem. When you get out of touch like this, you have no idea what you're doing. This is where you get in. Budweiser made the same mistake. Coca-Cola has done it through the years. Some of these big companies have made these mistakes through the years. And they do these things because, again, they don't know. And they don't know what they don't know. And they don't ask the right people. And they get all of these voices telling them, hey, you should, this would really be cool. You ought to try this. The kids are going to love. And that's where you're at. But all of this stuff, some of it is pushed, this Marxist ideology pushed. Some of this woke stuff is coming from really bad places. But ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of these decision makers are they're just pulling the trigger on these things because they're being told this is what we ought to do. They're getting bad advice. And they just don't know. And like I said, they don't know what they don't know. And so, I don't even know who a Bad Bunny is. That's why Roger Goodell, he made this to say, okay, Jay-Z, you got it, we're going to do. And that's why they did Kendrick Lamar last year. Now, some of the younger crowd will know a Kendrick Lamar, but most people didn't. Now, the Bad Bunny scenario, I'm going to tell you if you want to say, but there's a funny clip going on around out there where they asked somebody with a microphone was going on Radio Row asking football players, the NFL, what's your favorite Bad Bunny song? And none of them had a clue. They're like, we don't know. We don't even know who the guy is. It's a hilarious clip. It's leading up to a week before the game. Oh, here it is, in fact. The NFL may have messed up choosing Bad Bunny, the guy says. A bunch of players don't even know who he is. The players don't know who he is. That should tell you everything you need to know.
What's your favorite Bad Bunny song?
I already got one. Sorry about that.
I don't know who that is.
I never heard of Bad Bunny.
I don't know who that is.
He's
I heard
performing
him
at
perform
halftime.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
It's like a full minute of this. Now, I don't think the guy did a bad job. I should probably say this. I don't think he did a bad job. And I will tell you, I think he did better than what I expect. I expected with stuff he's done in the past or said in the past, guy'd come out there in a dress and set the American flag on fire. He didn't do that. But I also think it was the wrong decision. Bad Bunny did what Bad Bunny does, I guess. And maybe even he was Bad Bunny light, maybe. He was okay Bunny last night. But the overall mistake is picking someone who the American people don't know and missing the opportunity to bring people together for a uniquely American experience. Now, listen, I'm not getting into the whole thing about Puerto Rico because it doesn't matter. Puerto Rico is America. I think a lot of people are getting caught up into that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is you had an opportunity on the 250th anniversary of the founding of this nation, the birth of this nation. You had an opportunity to celebrate America 250, and Bad Bunny celebrated Puerto Rico, that's fine for him to do. That's just not a Super Bowl level performance. Again, he was a side attraction. It's what I mean by this. Bad Bunny was propped up by two different people. This was nothing new. They do this all the time. This is why I wasn't really thrilled by or excited by this either. They had Lady Gaga come out, and then I guess it was Ricky Martin. So a Lady Gaga, and she's done it before, is a Super Bowl level performer. Bad Bunny would have been the side attraction to the Lady Gaga performance. And again, listen, I don't want to get bogged down in the weeds in this. The NFL missed a big opportunity. That's all this is. And on top of it, yes, some of those folks know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And the push to make us really, really deprive of this opportunity to come together. And I'll be honest with you, there really is not a lot of opportunity for America to come to. We're all in our silos. We're all in our own separate, equal, echo chambers. And last night that sort of happened again with the separate halftime show. I think there's probably a few more people that watched both of them, but it will be interesting to see what happens to the numbers at halftime, or if they even give us the truth about what happens to the numbers at halftime with the Bad Bunny performance on the halftime show. Lots of Americans look for the halftime show anyway as a time to get up and use the bathroom, but what you really get is a talk about what happened afterward. I think that's the thing that matters when you have these moments. Use the bathroom, refill your plate, whatever it might be. So halftime shows and the controversy surrounding them, really, this is nothing new. I'll tell you that. Here's Kid Rock or Robert Ritchie making last night. On the TPUSA. Yeah, the American flag and the fire hose. Now, I'll tell you this. The one thing that I didn't expect, matter of fact, this was not on my bingo card, might have been the coolest part of the whole night, the coolest part of the whole performance. Maybe, like I said, maybe even the whole day. I'll explain what that is coming up here in just a second. But again, this is what we're watching is now par for the course. The controversy, it's the bread and circus of it all we're talking about. Of course, we'll talk about some of the nonsense with the Olympics and the good news from the Olympics a little bit later in the show today. And I got real news to get to as well. Hang in there, folks. Yes. This is kind of that hangover that everyone has the day after Super Bowl. We got to talk about. Oh, and the president. The president weighed in last night as well, which you'll want to hear coming up.
Isn't negotiable. It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barkley on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Here are your headlines from the Midwesterner this Monday, February 9th. I'm Robin Hoffman. It's a Midwesterner.news original story. Here in Michigan, the group Americans for Citizen Voting closing in on the required number of signatures needed to put proof of citizenship and voter ID requirements on the ballot in 2026. Group organizer Kristen Combs telling the Midwesterner organizers are confident they will meet the signature threshold to qualify for the ballot. They need close to 450,000 signatures. Far-left Attorney General Dana Nessel asking residents here in Michigan to expose ICE operations in our state. Nessel unveiling a new form that allows people to report alleged misconduct by ICE agents in their communities. And police in Chelsea, Michigan, still looking to track down a woman who dropped off a human skull at a Goodwill thrift store last week. People who worked there calling police after receiving what they called a suspicious item. Detectives saying the human skull wrapped in a shirt. For these stories and more, visit the Midwesterner at themidwesterner.news.
iHeartRadio.
Olympics update.
Team USA won its first 2 gold medals at these Winter Olympics Sunday. Quadman Ilya Malinin called the environment electric after helping secure gold in the team figure skating event.
I feel so great. This event was just so on fire. It was like the environment, just the atmosphere.
The other gold came from the women's downhill, courtesy of American Breezy Johnson. 5 medal events are scheduled for today.
For NBC's live coverage from Italy, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
Want to make the most of your tax refund?
All right, folks, welcome in. This one, good morning to you. See lots of folks hanging in the VIP today over on Locals. You want to join us? Just $9 a month. You able to comment, we get to your comments first. We also send you the Secret Show prep every day. You take priority because you've invested in the show, and we appreciate you. By the way, Hemi is here today. Gritter is here. We love you. Appreciate you guys. Mando, Mark, Cook Garden. So good to see you. Patriot, Dina, Lifer. Lots of folks hanging out with us inside the day. Karen, good to see you as well. Sharon, and that's as far back as my comments go there. But thank you guys. On Rumble, Mando, Mark again, D. Fongers, SJ, Such a Time as This, Tennyson, Jen Lynn, thank you guys for being here. In the book, we got Cora, Cassandra, Brenda, Sherry, thank you. Booyah over on X, thank you guys. Appreciate you being here with us. Lady Vu there too. Hang on, folks, back on the air momentarily. We appreciate you taking the time to be here and hang out with us on this big day. I saw there was one girl on social media sitting in the stands at the Super Bowl, and she had her phone in her hand, and she was watching the All-American halftime show. The Jimmy You say, she said so many people were mad at her for doing that. It's hilarious. Hang on, folks. Yep. Yeah, this is one thing I didn't expect last night, by the way, with all of the Super Bowl talk. In fact, there were some commercials. Did they talk about any of the commercials this morning in the morning show? There was nothing really that I saw that was, really hilarious and nailed. It may have been one or two, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch a lot of the game. So I missed a lot of the commercials. Love to hear from you on that. You can always weigh in. But I thought maybe the moment of the night didn't even take place on the Super Bowl. It took place on the halftime show. I didn't have this. Kid Rock in this powerful moment.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and he'll give you a second chance till you can't take it.
You took this song, Till You Can't, which is I don't know if you've ever heard it, but it's a really good song, and it's powerful in its own. And then he says at the end of it, he goes, I got another verse I had to add. I felt like I needed to add this. And Kid Rock preaches the gospel, tells people to dust off their Bibles at the halftime show on TPUSA. Wow, I was kind of blown away by that. Like I said, it might have been the biggest, and I think it's going to be one of the most viral moments of the entire evening. But like I said, there were other commercials and things out there that people will be talking about this morning. I'm sure this was one from ICE.
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work, but ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live, and that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
What a wild commercial. And again, at the Super Bowl. And there were, like I said, there were some other moments we'll talk about as well. But Eric Nesbitt, Senate Minority Leader for Republicans running for governor, he'll weigh in next. A lot of waste, fraud, and abuse, and particularly one program, and we'll get into all of that. He'll sound off coming up next, right here after our bottom of the hour news. So don't go anywhere. It's West Michigan Live. Justin Barkley back after this on Wood Radio. Thanks to the folks at the Good Feet store powering this program today and every day, helping you stay on your feet and your toes when it comes to the news specifically. Stay up to date with it all, and we do that for you here as well. But they'll help you feel comfortable. Do it in style with confidence and comfort when you walk into the Good Feet store, 28th Street, right in front of Costco, and in Portage on Westage in front of Kohl's. Tell them I sent you. It's time. Get back to feeling great again. With the folks at the Good Feet store.
Make your smart speaker smarter. Stream us.
Okay, getting smarter now.
It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barkley on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Club Keynote Tripler time is back, and some folks still have a few questions. So it's time for another round of CK Q&A.
Is there a triple?
All right. We'll grab the headlines news update here in a second. Stand by. Let me dig through, because there were a few things that I wanted to show you, I think. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's some good news. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit of the Olympics here in a minute. We're going to talk a little bit of the Olympics and some of the stories that are coming out from this weekend. By the way, it's fake news. They didn't boo when J.D. Vance, the vice president, made the screen. I didn't get the chance to see the opening ceremony. Largely, I don't really watch much of that stuff anymore because it is so, well, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I'll just say that. And I don't think I missed it, but I'll say this. They did not boo. This has been fact checked now. I guess they've been online. The folks on the left. JD Vance got booed. Matter of fact, you'll hear the woman. I don't know who it is, but this person needs to be fired from NBC. Commentator saying he got booed. That's
sport. What an honor for her.
There's the Vice President JD Vance and his wife Usha. Ooh, those are not. Those are a lot of boos for him. Whistling, jeering, some applause.
lot of boos, whistling, jeering, some applause. Whoever that is needs to be yanked off the broadcast and fired immediately. It's a lie. It's propaganda. And that is not what we need representing our country on the world stage. Because everybody gets to see this broadcast. Now, I know it's NBC, whoever that is, NBC, I don't know. Look, President is probably not high up on his list, but they need to understand we're in the find out era, and I would send off, if I'd fire off the tweet, whoever that is needs to be replaced immediately.
In an individual sport, what an honor for her.
There is the Vice President JD Vance and his wife Usha. Ooh, those are not. Those are a lot of boos for him. Whistling, jeering, some applause.
Can you believe it? And of course, they debunk. You can hear it yourself. There's no. I don't hear any boo. Now there might be some boos. All they do is lie. Lady Vu says, all they do is lie. But that's the problem over and over again. That's why they've completely lost all credibility on every single issue, the news media. And look, they've lost their halftime show now. TPUSA has proven they can do an alternative. We're just one further step down, and I don't love this. In fact, I'll tell you why I'm kind of against it. We need, as Americans, to have unique experiences that are collectives. And I know that's sort of a commie term, but what I mean is group experiences. As a nation, we need to be able to come together and have those same experiences because it glues us together. And social media, you wonder why we're so divided nowadays. It's largely because of social media, because everyone gets to have their own experience and they get to make up their own mind about all of this stuff, and that's the problem. That's the real problem when it comes down to all of this. So anyway, I just, it's unnecessary. It's so sad. Hey, you know what we need? And we're going to have some of the Olympians coming up here in a little bit. We're going to play some of what they said, but here's what we need again. We need this. This is the level of like authentically excited, just proud to be an American. This is the level that I want to see from our athletes. By the way, they're told they can't do this anymore. That's part of, well, I'm sure their agents or the people around them don't be patriotic. You remember this one? This was 2020 Olympics, probably when we needed it the most.
How does it feel to represent your country like this?
It feels amazing. I love representing the U.S. I freaking love living there. I love it, and I'm so happy I get to represent USA.
How does it feel to represent your country like this?
I love that. Now again, that wasn't from this time. This time around, we're in Winter Olympics now. She's obviously not dressed for it, but that's Tamara Mensah-Stock. She's the athlete who she's just full of pride for the country, just full of pride. Just had that beautiful moment where she just nailed it all. And there was another a Super Bowl commercial. Again, I didn't see this live, but we did have it last week. We shared some of these. There's a pro-life commercial that took the nation by storm again, obviously on the Super Bowl. This is a big, big moment for big moments like this.
I know you never expected this. The voices and the anger are so loud. I know you envisioned things differently. They're telling you that you've only got two choices. But the truth is, there's three. Are these options difficult? Of course they are. But you deserve to know.
Very cool. Very cool commercial. Hang on, I gotta get back.
Hey, it's Glenn Beck, and you're listening to West Michigan Live with our good friend Justin Barclay. The Glenn Beck program coming up at 10 on Wood Radio.
That was cool to see one of the referees from Detroit last night in the Super Bowl. Michigan man. Hey, we still got more to talk about. We're going to get into some of the Olympics as well. I got some good news I want to share with you through it all, and we'll do just that coming up. Just this morning, we learned the latest here from the Midwesterner. Looks like that Citizens Only Voter Initiative, the Voter ID Initiative, has got enough signatures to jump on the ballot. You know, election integrity is front and center once again. In fact, there's been a senator running for governor here. He's the Senate Minority Leader, Republican Eric Nesbitt, who joins us now to talk about his calls, of course, echoing much of the president's concerns around these elections and more. Senator, thanks for taking the time to be here with us today. We appreciate it.
Hey, Justin, thanks for having me on, and thanks for covering this important issue. As we both know, at the end of the day, Jocelyn Benson has proven herself to be the most partisan, least transparent, and overall incompetent Secretary of State in Michigan's history.
You know, it really is, and you don't have to go much further in 2020, where she said, and she, I don't know how many times. In fact, we got a theme song for her here called "Breaking the Law" from Judas Priest, where the judges said,
"Isn't that sad?"
It is.
Isn't that sad?
It is. Because the judge says, "You can't do that. You can't do that." And she's the well, better ask forgiveness and permission. But once the genie's out of the bottle, the toothpaste out of the tube, it's a bad situation. And with her. You know, she said in 2020, look, you don't have to look at these absentee ballot signatures and verify them with the local clerks. And boy, I mean, you're talking about a time where they had the most in history coming in. I think that'd probably be a time you definitely want to verify those things. But it's over and over and over again. And in this case, she finds herself at odds with the Trump administration, who says, hey, clean up those voter rolls. Let's make sure everything's dotted. The I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. And she just refuses to do so, and one can only imagine why.
Well, Jocelyn Benson, as you know, she's lost the benefit of the doubt and cannot be trusted. And that's why I led the charge, along with other state lawmakers back in November, to the request of the U.S. Department of Justice monitor Michigan's 2026 primary and general elections. You don't get a pass on the check and balance of the American government because you happen to have a D next to your name and you don't like the president. We've known that Benson has refused to cooperate with federal authorities, including a recent Department of Justice lawsuit against her, and the state for failing to provide unredacted voter registration records, which is in violation of the Civil Rights Act, the National Voter Registration Act, Helping America's Vote Act. I mean, time after time, that's why she's lost so many of these lawsuits that have gone after her on these issues, and she ignores the courts. She's ignoring the current state house right now when they subpoenaed her, and it's wrong. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, the worst Secretary of State ever. We can't have her get anywhere close to the governor's office this year. Period, paragraph.
How do you fail up? I mean, I know this is quite common in the Democrat Party, but she's done just a horrific job as Secretary of State, and yet she feels like she deserves a promotion.
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing that she has failed at doing is maintaining accurate voter rolls, including her refusal to remove deceased registrants as required by federal law. Audits and investigations have revealed more than 25,000 deceased individuals remain on Michigan's voter rolls. And we've seen nearly 6 dozen lawsuits against her. She's lost nearly a dozen of them. I mean, this is more than all 4 previous Secretary of State combined, and she's unlawfully restricted poll challenges and violated state law. I mean, just look at the 2024 election, allowing foreign nationals, including Chinese nationals, to vote in our elections. It's wrong. It needs to stop. This is why it's so important we elect somebody for Secretary of State that actually will do the job, will actually means one person, one legal resident, one legal citizen, one vote. And we have to get rid of Jocelyn Benson and beat her at the polls this fall.
We see this is going to be probably for Michigan what it was, at least in my mind, 2026 is just going to be as consequential as 2024 was for us nationwide here in the state of Michigan. If we don't fix things here, we could lose the state. And I just, I want to make sure that people understand that. I want to make sure that they get what's going on. And as you paint the picture with Benson, who's got this issue, also her husband, a lot of questions about him. We've got another story at the Midwesterner. Her husband is an advisor steering hundreds of millions of dollars in the tax dollars for the RX Kids Free Cash program. At the same time, he's involved with I don't know how he gets his hands on so many things. He's involved with the data center in Saline, which is another issue people are very concerned about. But it seems like when these folks get into power, boy, they multiply. They get their tentacles into everything, don't they?
Yeah, benefiting off of public trough is wrong and needs to end. And as we see, you're absolutely right. This election this year is consequential for Michigan. We're at a point in our state, a crossroads, a true crossroads, whereas we do nothing. As we just let the status quo happen, we let somebody who's more liberal and less competent than Governor Whitmer, who's Jocelyn Benson, become governor. We're going to be a poorer state. We're going to be less affordable. We're going to have education that's worse performing, so our kids aren't coming out educated, and we're going to lose hundreds of thousands of people in the next few years, next several years, and it's going to be less opportunity for our children and grandchildren. That needs to, and that's why I'm running for governor as your next governor. I'm going to make Michigan more affordable by repealing the Green New Scam, by opening us up for business and making sure that folks can invest and grow jobs here in the state, and making sure every kid can read by 3rd grade, while also making sure that every kid can go into a good family supporting career. This is what we're up against this year. And if we don't step up, we're going to lose the state for the next several decades. Yeah,
you mentioned some good pieces there. Senator Eric Nesbitt, minority leader there in the Senate here in Michigan and running for governor as a Republican. You mentioned these are mostly known as some kitchen table issues, but tell me, what are the things, because you're out talking to people, right? You're hearing from folks, you're meeting people as you crisscross the state in the campaign here. What are you hearing from people that are the biggest pieces? Obviously, you talked about kids, but you talked about also what it's like, the economy, bringing businesses in, allowing them to thrive. And one of the things that I've been concerned about is President Trump has done a lot to bring investment back. And matter of fact, we've already seen this big push in what's happened with the big three here in Michigan. I just want to make sure that as all this investment is coming back into the country, that we don't miss out here in Michigan, because I believe we're uniquely set up to be able to do it best. But the policies of Governor Whitmer and the Democrats over the last almost 8 years now have really put us in a bind.
Exactly right. President Trump is working to bring back Made in the USA. We got to make sure this is made in Michigan. And unfortunately, with Governor Whitmer and the Democrats in Lansing, that we have the second fastest growing unemployment rate in the nation. We're losing jobs and opportunities for the other state. As President Trump brings back trillions of dollars investments in the United States of America, Governor Whitmer and the Democrats in Lansing are putting out a big close for business sign. And as I cross the state, it really comes down to the bureaucracy and the red tape that's created in Lansing that's preventing folks from investing and growing jobs here in Michigan. I was talking to a small restaurant owner down in Adrian at an event I was at, and she says, "It's the last day I'm open. I'm not going to be open again. I survived COVID. fairly, but all the new rules and the mandates and the costs coming out in Lansing, I just can't make it in Michigan anymore. And there's 12 jobs that are being lost, and I'm going to move to Ohio to reset up shop because I just can't make it here anymore. I talked to manufacturers in Holland, a boat manufacturer, 700 employees, 400 families depend on that boat manufacturer. They're 4 years in and $2 million in expenses and trying to replace their dock for their manufacturing company because of Governor Whitmer's bureaucrats at Lansing won't issue them a new permit. I mean, we're at a tipping point here in the state, and whether it's Governor Whitmer and the Democrats in Lansing making it tougher and tougher for folks to make it in Michigan, or whether it's Jocelyn Benson that's going to make it even worse for the state and even going to bring it down. We need to have a governor. And as your next governor, I'm going to take a blowtorch to the bureaucracy and the regulations in Lansing to make sure that we're open for business and Michigan job creators can invest and grow here in the state so our families can make it here in Michigan and our workers can make it here in Michigan. And most importantly, our kids can make it here in Michigan.
Senator Eric Nesbitt, you can find out more at nesbittforgovernor.com, and we'll encourage people to go there, but also if they want to catch up with you, any place you want to remind people or let them know that you're going to be as you crisscross the state.
Yeah, no, we're making the rounds around the state. We have a good business roundtable in a few weeks down in Macomb County. I had some roundtables last Friday in Macomb and Oakland County. Spending some time in Muskegon today. We're just continuing to break ground every day. And so, as I look at it, how do you win the day every day to make sure that Governor Whitmer and the Democrats in Lansing are defeated this fall, and making sure Jocelyn Benson gets nowhere close to that governor's office this fall.
Always a pleasure, Senator. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us. Please come back. We'd love to talk to you again. We'll stay up to date.
Hey, thanks, Justin. Thanks for all you do. God bless.
You too. All right, folks. More coming up as we continue. Got some good news we want to make sure that we get to as we wrap things up. I still have some Olympic talk to get to. I got to do some of that. And an after show still yet on the way too. And that's something we got to show after the show. The fastest hour in radio is flying by, but hang there with us. We'll make sure we keep you up to date. It's West Michigan Live. Taking a look at the markets this morning. Just opened, a little red on the screen. Dow retreats after passing the 50,000 mark, but it's still past it right now as far as I'm looking. It's down about 100. S&P down a bit, NASDAQ a little bit as well. But boy, they said the headline is traders are bracing for jobs and inflation data this week. Again, it can feel like a roller coaster ride. You're up, you're down, you just never know where things are going to go. But if you need to retire today or tomorrow, 10, 20 years down the road, it doesn't matter really when. But you need to know that your plan is going to get you there and when you want to be there. That's why the folks at Talon Wealth take a holistic approach. GuardingYourNestEgg.com is the website. Find out how they can help you get back on track and make sure that you are ready to be where you need to be when you need it most. GuardingYourNestEgg.com. Mike Lester and the team standing by to work with you at 616-661-1000. 616-661-1000. Reach out and find out how they can help you today, but don't wait till it's too late.
FYI. Like, literally. It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barclay on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Here are your headlines from the Midwesterner this Monday, February 9th. I'm Robin Poffman. It's a Midwesterner.news original story. Michigan Attorney General Democrat Dana Nessel asking residents here in Michigan to expose ICE operations in our state. Nessel is out with a new form that allows Michigan residents to contact her department directly and report alleged misconduct by ICE agents in their area. The group Americans for Citizen Voting is inching closer to the required number of signatures needed to put proof of citizenship and voter ID requirements on the ballot in November of 2026. Group organizer Kristen Combs telling the Midwesterner that organizers are confident they will meet the signature threshold to qualify. And police in Chelsea, Michigan, still looking to track down a woman who dropped off a human skull at a Goodwill thrift store. more. This man lives in the town.
Assuming it's not a Chelsea resident because we're kind of a small town, we'd probably be able to tell who that is quickly.
For these stories and more, visit The Midwesterner at themidwesterner.news.
Okay, I don't know where you're watching me. I'm trying to get fired back up on Facebook. I think I realized what happened. And it's so stupid. They got to get this stuff figured out. I guess it's probably all bots. But you got a 2-hour, basically a 2-hour show here. 1.5, 2 hours. We do a live stream every day. And so you're gonna have some times where this sort of thing happens, but Facebook is just being ridiculous about it. And I think we're still up everywhere else. There's no issue on Rumble. Getter, obviously, there's never a problem there. X, never a problem. People have found us on YouTube and some other places. But all of the folks that have found us, the normal Facebook folks, Sherry, I see you, big dumb guy. I think that's Jason. I think I remember you from jumping in here last time. Bunny, good to see you. I thank you guys for joining us on Facebook. But I think what happened was I played the clip from JD Vance at the Olympics, and they lost it. Facebook, probably some sort of computer thing, flagged the algorithm, flagged something, and took it down. It actually says your video is blocked and can't be viewed. Now we're appealing it, but in the meantime, it booted everybody. You know, we had over 100 people right there just got booted. Some of them were able to find us, but who knows? Hang on, folks. Back on.
Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto accident attorneys. Visit autolaw.com.
That's autolaw.com.
Lots of controversy, really, over the Olympics over the weekend. But there's some good news, too. We got a medal count looking good. The fastest hour in radio flying by. I want to get to that and some of that medal count on the way here in just a moment. First, say thanks to the folks at Mentality, who I guess power this program, and me. And you taking your life back, man, if you really want to feel great again, right? LowTUSA.com. Go check them out. They've got solutions for everyone. But listen, man, we need you in the fight. We need you to be the best husbands, the best fathers, showing up in your calling every day. If you lost that spark, the energy that keeps you going throughout the day, all those things, well, it may not even be your fault. A lot of times it's like an environmental issue, some issues that the guys have. Sometimes it could be age. It could be a number of things, diet even, that plays into it all. And this, in fact, could get you back on track. But you're going to have to find out for yourself. Talk to them today at lowtusa.com. The folks at Mentality standing by, ready to help you. All right, so we've got a number. Like I said, there's a number of different clips from that. I don't know how much of this I could play or share with you. We just got our broadcast kicked off of Facebook because I played one clip, and it wasn't even any actual, like action or anything like that from the Olympics. So I will tell you this. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much I can play on the video at least, but I'll share a little bit of it with you. We had Lindsey Vonn, proud to be competing as an American, making that statement. She was very proud good to see. Kind of refreshing when you see some of the other things that were shared over the weekend from some folks. By the way, the president's spoken out on that as well. It's just kind of interesting to watch him get involved.
It's a privilege to represent your country, and the Olympics are the largest stage in the world, the largest sporting event in the world. To walk out into the opening ceremonies with your fellow teammates is such an honor, and I always feel incredibly lucky that I'm even able to compete at that level. So I definitely don't take it for granted, and I'm going to enjoy my last Olympics as much as I possibly can.
That's what everyone should say. Every single one. But not everyone is. You get some of those folks who are, just absolutely, I mean, they're deranged. I don't know. Maybe they're told, hey, if you come out and you talk this way, then, you'll get some sort of deal or something like that. I don't know. Maybe things will be better for you if you do, or we can get you, something. I don't know how that works exactly. All I know is it's become this weird thing. I don't see anybody from any other country, by the way, ever bad-mouthing their country. Do you ever see that? Does that ever happen? I never see anyone from any other country talking smack about their country. It was a sad moment. Lindsey Vonn, she hit, obviously can't play this, but she hit a hole or something in the course when she's coming downhill at a great rate of speed. Somebody else hit it earlier that day, I think, too, and they were injured. Here she is being airlifted off of the course that day. How sad. Like I said, medal count is looking decent. Not horrific, but not decent. Again, this is the Winter Olympics and in Italy, and Milan Cortino, is that? I can't remember exactly, but it's been interesting to watch. I've been watching a little bit. I love to show the kids because they're like, oh my gosh, watching some of these guys do flips on skis and snowboards and some of that is kind of interesting. Michaela Schifrin is another one. There's another guy, and I almost don't want to give these people. I almost don't want to give them any credit, but they're the ones being asked about, how they feel about America. And these guys bad mouthing the country. It's just stupid to watch all that. But man, oh man, you have good things happening across every turn as well, and we got to make sure we give you some of that as we proceed. How about this one? This hoax is dying on the vine right in front of their eyes right now. They can't be happy about it. It's the whole buyer's remorse hoax.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again, yes or no?
Van Jones on CNN asking a black woman.
Yes, I would. Mm-hmm. Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
This is what she said. My party's left me. The party has left me. And by the way, I got more of that clip. I'm going to play some more during the after show and explain what exactly is going on here. But they've been running this game for the last, month or so. That's, Donald Trump's in trouble. Buyer's remorse and all this other stuff. That couldn't be further from the truth. It's just hogwash. But what else would you expect from the mainstream media? More after this when we do the after show kicking off in just moments. JustinBarkley.com, Facebook, Twitter, X, Rumble, Getter, Locals. In the meantime, right here, YouTube as well. The Glenn Beck program kicking off next. So don't go anywhere with top of the hour news as well in minutes. I'm Justin Barkley. Make it a great day. God bless.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Let's keep the power going forever now. Amen. Amen.
From the retirement experts at Matson Financial Studio.
WOOD Grand Rapids, WOOD FM Muskegon. The news is next on Wood Radio.
An iHeart radio station.
Guaranteed human.
Oh, I don't know. Did the Facebook kick up again? Did it start again? It's not letting me start, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's not letting me restart, guys. Hang on. Let me post. Let me post a little thing. Let me post a little link for people to find out where we are. It's just so stupid. You've been temporarily blocked from performing this action. You think this goes again? I can't even post right now? You got to be kidding me. So they're not going to let me post anything? Yeah, they're not letting me post anything. Shoot. All right, let me try the app. Well, that's going to be an interesting conversation today, not one that I was looking forward to. Unbelievable. Okay. Got no answers, but I can't post anything on Facebook right now. Anything. Because of playing the one clip from Vance, JD Vance, at the Olympics, where they said they booed him. It was just a brief clip in a 2-hour show. If we can't share news clips and we can't talk about the news, what are we doing? Like, you're telling me that that's not a unbelievable. Well, maybe I just take everything off of Facebook. I'll just take everything off of Facebook and move everything to a different platform. I'm sure they'll like that. All right, folks, let me get the after show started. Hang on. Let me click a couple of buttons. Probably going to make this as short as possible so I can try and dig into this Facebook problem, because if we don't post throughout the day, then the page is going to get hit. We don't want that to happen. We got really good growth over on Facebook lately, and it seems like they've been fair to us recently, at least as fair as possible. So this, I'm going to assume, is just some sort of automation problem. Looks like we got a lot of folks showed up over on Rumble too. Thank you guys for being here with us. I appreciate you. If you can share the YouTube or the Rumble link or even the X link to other people so that they know where this stuff is, and they can find us. All right. That being said, let's get the party started. Here we go.
Get ready to strap in. It's going to be a heck of a ride. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Never a dull moment, but yes, you'll hear the stories you won't hear anywhere else, and we appreciate you being here with us for them today. I'm Justin Barclay.
Into the after show. It is the show after the show, and there is never a dull moment, that's for sure. Voted off of Facebook today. What happened? I'm in Facebook jail. Remember we used to have Facebook jail t-shirts? Inmate number, yada, yada, yada. They actually kicked us off of live streaming for a while. We had to get Congress involved. I'm not even joking about this. It was a very bad scenario. Anyway, we've been
go back in time.
We've been through this before. I I don't know what's going to come of it. I'll dig in when I get off this show today. So if I have to cut things a little short, you'll know that's probably what I'm up to. First of all, let's do this. Over the weekend, we did a great podcast with our good friend Maha Missy. If you haven't seen it yet, we talk about getting out of the WHO. We talk about, well, listen, I'll just put it this way. Before you take the shot, make sure you watch this episode. She kind of talked about what's really behind the latest these weight loss shots and the drugs that people are taking right now. Highly popular, but there's some warnings behind them that you need to know about. In the meantime, you could do it naturally. I'm down over 20 pounds right now with my Pure Health Solutions. Go to healthwithjustin.com to find out how. I feel better than ever. I got more energy. You know, I always do when I'm doing this plan. I just got to tell you, I just feel great. And I'm in this next phase, so I am marching to my big goal, and I'd love to have you right along with me. Healthwithjustin.com. You can stay up to date as we walk through it all together. My good friend Jim just lost 25 pounds in a month, but the best part is he says he's not no soreness anymore. He's not done any joint pain or any of those issues anymore. Healthwithjustin.com is where you can go to find out how you can get involved and join the fight. Healthwithjustin.com. You know, the before and afters are really amazing to watch. You could see people like just the smile on their face is really something, just to see how it just absolutely changes every bit of their life. Do it today. Go to healthwithjustin.com and find out how you can take your life back. Because most of all, folks, yeah, you're going to feel good. You're going to look better. All of that stuff it's great for us. But at the end of the day, you are going to be in the fight and ready to be who you were created to be. And I'm thrilled about that. All right, there's a new hoax we just played at the end of the show. There's a new hoax that's been debunked. Yeah, not the JD Vance got booed hoax. See, these things don't last very long anymore, do they? We got booted off of Facebook for revealing that one. Boy, they don't. They seriously don't. They don't mess around. And this is the President Trump, the voters have buyer's remorse hoax. And it's funny because CNN's forced to deal with this, I guess, live on the air is what's his name? Van Jones interviews a black woman who says, no, I'd vote for McGee.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again, yes or no?
Yes, I would. Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
If you go back in time, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
Yes.
I think I might know the answer on this thing.
He said yes. It's immediately yes. No, I'm sorry.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
1,000% absolutely yes.
Wow, look at the look on old Anderson. Anderson, somebody get him another booster. He doesn't look too happy. Look at the look on his face at the end. Anderson. Oh, my goodness. It's hilarious. You can't make this stuff up. Again, it's another hoax debunked. Every time they go through this, every situation. And by the way, it's just hilarious to watch at this point. Now, if you're new to this and you're just waking up, welcome. We want you here, right? If you're still asleep, pay attention a little longer. But if you've been in this and you've been watching, you understand. Here we are, par for the course. This is just another one of those scenarios. Oh, and by the way, another jaw-dropping poll just released finds a surge, folks, of Americans, which is saying something, saying they're better off today than they were 4 years ago.
That number is up 25 points from last year alone. That's since President Trump was elected. The experts were all wrong. And this is why those Democrats are panicking. This is why you're seeing the riots in the streets and all the other stuff. Better off today than they were 4 years ago. That number in 2024 was negative 21. In 2025, it was negative 9. Today, it's plus 4. All the experts were wrong. Again, you can't make this stuff up. And yet they do. Time and time again. That's part of really debunking the hoaxes, showing you the problem with what they're pushing. Oh, and here's another one. We got the truth on over the weekend about what happened with this crazy, and I honestly don't want to play too much of this because I don't want to give it any more time. But some of the folks that have come out, Jeffrey Mead is one of the most interesting in my mind. I don't know if you follow him yet or not. He's a guy you might want to follow over on X and all the places. But people outraged about President Trump's post, which we've gone through this. We exposed the hoax on it over the weekend on, I think it was Friday. They have what Jeffrey calls selective outrage, and I would agree.
Okay, now pay attention to this. The people who were the loudest about this post that was posted by a staffer, not even Trump himself, the staffer was being lazy, probably trying to get things done quick and didn't cut out part of the screen recording. That's when this part came up on the screen. But notice the same people who were pushing us all over the internet and talking about it and all this and that, they're quiet about things like this that have recently been happening in Minnesota. I'm going to give you 2 examples. Both of these have recently happened in Minnesota.
I can't play this. I don't. Well, I mean, I guess I could, but I don't want to. But it's one of these protesters calling a black ICE officer the N-word. So he's saying, you're kind of quiet on this.
Minnesota calling people nigger.
I don't want to play. He's saying the word, but I don't want to say it. But he says, look, you're awfully quiet on those scenarios, but very vocal about this. It's selective outrage.
Need people to watch their mouths. So the leftists in Minnesota are calling people nigger.
He keeps saying it. I'm just gonna link. I just don't like it. I don't like cursing. Now I want to tell you why. Because I know you guys are saying, you've said it before. Look, we're adults here. We can deal with it. We can handle it. I get it. But the Bible says that life and death is in the power of tongue. Now, I just really have a really potty mouth, and every now and then it'll slip back out. But I really don't like to. I don't like to play it because I don't like to say it, and I don't want to hear it. You can understand what I'm getting at, right? And I also don't think we have to in order to prove the point. So I'm showing you what I showed you. This guy, go look him up. I'll put him on the stack today. It's another good one for you to check out. And again, there's another hoax. So we had JD Vance. They didn't boo this weekend. We had the people are better off. Now the reality, people are better off now than they were 4 years ago. We had that hoax that people had buyer's remorse. That's all been sort of lifted. And now Now you get it. You see where things are going. And we'll continue. We're going to continue to do these. There's more and more and more coming out each and every day, by the way. Hey, speaking of the haters, we pray for the haters here. And this video came out over the weekend. I sent it out to folks on Locals. If you missed it, this is Tom McDonald. You're probably familiar. You probably recognize the guy when you see him. He's got a new song out. And I thought, man, this is pretty good. It's called Pray for the Left.
They always said that Charlie Kirk was a Nazi. Then they celebrated after they killed him. They tried to tell us that Black Lives Matter and that white people have always been villains. They burning flags in the streets and they scream at police, taking illegals to prison. They got rainbows on their bedroom walls, and they swear to God that men can be women. They're scrolling through their TikToks to get the news. They heard that Trump's a fascist, they swear it's true. They set fire to Minnesota, we smell the fumes. They say that guns are dangerous, guess they're the proof. They'll shoot that red hat off your head, then make a meme of your last breath. Cause you're not like them, so they want you dead. But we'll still pray for the left. They'll say that they're hurt by things we said, then say we deserve it when we're dead. When we're shot in the neck with our last breath, we'll still pray for the left, praying for the left.
Yeah, it's really a really an interesting song, and I one again that I said, I kind of like that. I think we can't forget that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. I think we can't forget that these people that are rabid, even the protests, some of these people that are rioters, even. I think we got to remember that at the same time that what we're dealing with here is it's a spiritual fight. It's a spiritual fight. There's another one out there, and I shared this over on Locals too. It took a shot at Bruce Springsteen, and it's a girl who did a song talking about the boss. Anyway. It's what it's called. It's called The Boss. But take a listen to this one.
The boss. What about Lake and Riley? Is Charlie too hard to say? What about when you took your shot at the one you call king? Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for working man? I was born in the USA, and you spit on my promised land.
I thought that was really cool. By the way, her name is Natasha Owens. If you want to go look her up, I'll put her on the stack today too. But Natasha Owens, another fantastic song that was out this week. And then, of course, you saw, and we'll make sure I think it's worth repeating, right? I think it's worth playing again. But you saw the moment Kid Rock made a splash, and I thought this was great, with his song at the TPUSA All-American Halftime Show, and told folks, dust off that Bible.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and he'll give you a second chance till you can't take it.
Beautiful. That song, by the way, is up now. You can download the whole thing and watch it, listen to it, stream it, and dig it. I am. I love it. I'm loving it. It's a really fantastic song. All right, before we get out of here, Dad, because like I said, I got stuff I'm gonna have to start digging into some of the. And then there's Olympics. I guess I'm not gonna be able to play anything from the Olympics. That's if Facebook lets me on. I really don't know how to cover it. I don't know why it would be considered that we're breaking any terms or conditions the way we use this content. It's going to be hard to dig through, but I'm going to try and figure out and see if I can get some clarity on it today. Because again, there are going to be some things that we're going to want to tell. And I don't necessarily have to show the action of the Olympics. But I want to make sure that I can talk about, when they talk about things and honestly, I'm kind of gun shy today. I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to give these people any, I guess I'll say this. I don't want to give them any more publicity for saying the bad things that they did. Some of these snowboarders and skiers, etc. We'll just let it fly today. But, at any rate, we'll have to adjust and figure out how we're gonna go when it comes to those. All right. Before I want to show you one other thing that I thought was really powerful this weekend. It has nothing to do with Super Bowl, the Olympics, or anything else. This is a video of a Christian singer, Matthew West, talking about a powerful story that he experienced when he took his daughter to camp, and they did an exercise together that as a father and as a son and really a father of a daughter, I found really profound. But just listen to this. It was really interesting.
I took my daughter to this camp. They took the dads and the daughters deep into the woods, and we were going to do this exercise. And they blindfolded the daughters. And then they told the dads, all right, you're going to go and guide your daughter blindfolded through the woods. They said, now you're going to give your daughter 3 instructions and repeat them as many times as you can before the walk begins. And the instructions were, I will never leave you. You can ask me anything. And you should only listen for the sound of my voice. And I would make her repeat those back to me. And it was easy to guide her in the beginning because I could have a hand on her shoulder and we could walk and talk with each other. And then with a silent signal from a camp counselor, they would tell me I had to remove my hand. Then with another silent signal from the camp counselor, I could no longer speak unless she remembered the instructions that she could ask me anything. So as you can imagine, we started to get off track in our hike. Well, the counselor said, well, how about you follow me and I'll get you caught up with the group. The counselor walks her into a ditch and she doesn't realize it, but she's blindfolded in a ditch standing in front of a tree. And she thought for a couple minutes and I'm standing there waiting. And all of a sudden I hear 4 words, Dad, are you there? And I stood there in the woods just crying. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. That was a moment that shaped the writing of this book because I thought about those 3 instructions and how many times I've forgotten them in my life, that he will never leave me. I can ask him anything and I should only listen to the sound of his voice.
What a profound message that is from Matthew West. Probably a good note to leave you on today. Well, I'll try to get down to the bottom of the Facebook deal. If you're here watching, we'll try Facebook again tomorrow. If you don't see any, let's just know this. If you don't see any posts or updates from me on Facebook, like throughout the day, there's nothing new. That means we won't be on Facebook tomorrow. But if you see new posts, then we'll be on Facebook tomorrow. They've halted everything for me, which is very rare. I've never seen, well, it's been a long time since I've seen something like this. I'll tell you that much. In the meantime, you can always watch us on YouTube, Rumble, X, all those other places. And I'll send out a note today to remind everyone. All right, make it a good one, folks. We appreciate you. In the meantime, God bless.